add this test data, go to data analysis, and hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to be showing you an example of how to run an A/B test. Now, a lot of videos will dive deep into the stats behind an A/B test, or videos will explain why you should run an A/B test, but I just wanted to show you how I normally set up an A/B test. There are a lot of different ways to set up A/B tests, but this is going to be the type of test that I run most often. I'm going to be showing you how to run the test, how to set up the stats behind it, how to run it sequentially, and I'm going to show you how to get some of the learnings out of the A/B test. My name is Nick Murphy. I've been running A/B tests for about 10 years now. I work in digital analytics and experimentation, and I hope this video helps you avoid some of the mistakes that I made along the way. We're going to be using an example from a company called Cookware Haven. This is not a real company and not a real website, but we're going to use it as an example to run through exactly how I would run an A/B test. Now, we're going to be starting from the beginning of the A/B testing or experimentation program. So we're going to kind of get a look under the hood as to like how I would plan this strategically, and then how I would actually go about setting up the test, planning out runtime, and that sort of thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is with Cookware Haven, I'm going to figure out what their goals are. To make this pretty simple, let's say that their goal is to increase new customer acquisition by 15%. So in this experiment, we are going to want to closely align ourselves to that goal so that the impact and the effort of what we're doing is realized by the organization we're working for or working with. Now, the next thing we're going to do is look at pages that play an important role in new customer acquisition. So there's a lot of different areas on a website, and only some of them will affect new customers. Now, there's a lot of ways and techniques you can look into this further, but let's just use this simple example where let's look at the home page and see how much traffic is that getting. So this is the next step. We want to see, okay, the home page is going to be involved in new customer acquisition. Does this page get enough traffic to run an A/B test? So the next thing we're going to do is look into the test sizing to see if an A/B test is possible. So at this point, you'd be opening Adobe Analytics or Google Analytics to figure out a few key metrics. So we'll jump into our Excel sheet here. All right. So as we can see, the Cookware Haven homepage has about 10,500 unique visitors in the last 30 days. It has about 400 buy now or shop now unique clicks, and then has a conversion rate of 3.81%. So let me open up their website. All right, so this is Cookware Haven's website, and as you can see, there's a shop now button as well as a buy now button. Now, this is going to be the primary metric of our test. And one key thing that I want to bring up here is we want this metric to be binomial, which all that means is that in the numerator of our conversion rate, it should basically only be a 0 or a 1 for each unique visitor. So we're going to open up Analytics Toolkit. There's a lot of tools you can use to do test sizing, but I think this one is really nice. So we're going to go ahead and open it and say, okay, Cookware Haven homepage test. And we want to start it today. Now we're going to go to our test parameters here. We want to run a superiority test. So we want to prove that whatever new version of the homepage we come up with is better than the control or the live version on the website. So now we're going to go to a rate per user. So we figured out that there's 2,450 unique visitors per week. Again, we got that from our 10,500, just taking 10,500 divided by 30 and then multiplying it by 7. So we're going to say, yeah, there's 2,450 unique visitors per week. And we also need to know the baseline conversion rate, which is 3.81%. And for the sake of this one, we're going to use the basic planning, which is pretty much what I always use. And we're going to plan this as a sequential test. So all this means is that each week that we're running this A/B test, we'll be able to check in with our conversion rate of control and variant and see if we're able to end the test early. The other way that you could run this is it says single on the other side here, which is basically a fixed horizon test, where if your test duration is 6 weeks, you won't know till the end of the 6 weeks if the variant was better than control.
Then we're going to set our confidence level, which represents the chance of observing a false positive. And usually you set this to about 95% or 90%.
Our power is going to be set to 80, which again is what I use nine times out of 10. So we're going to estimate our test plan here. And we can see the different MDE values here. Actually, in Analytics Toolkit, they call it the minimum relative percent effect detectable. So what this generally means is that this is the difference in the control rate, the control conversion rate, and the variant conversion rate. So you want to select a minimum relative percent effect detectable that you think is reasonable and impactful to the business. Okay, so now as we're selecting our minimum detectable effect or our minimum relative percentage effect detectable, we want to look and see what's kind of possible. So our baseline conversion rate is 3.81%. If we saw a 4.5% or 4.5% observed conversion rate in variant, that'd be an 18% lift. And you can kind of see how this goes. 5% would be about a 31% lift. 3.81% to 5.5% would be a 44% lift. And you can see all the way up to 123%. So do we think it's reasonable that whatever change we come up with will get a 18 to 123% lift? Where do we kind of feel about that? So that's where I really start. So I'd see, man, these lifts are kind of high. These are not super reasonable. I think I would be going for the lowest MDE possible here at 18%. So I'd be saying like maybe we'll observe a 4.5% lift with whatever change we come up with. So we'll go back to our A/B test calculator and we think about 18% as possible. So we'll come down here and say, okay, about 10 weeks, 18%. So we'll select that. Now we want to make sure that when we're selecting our MDE here, that it's something that would be meaningful to the business. Would Cookware Haven be pumped to get a 18% increase on buy or shop now clicks? We're going to assume in this example that the answer is yes, but this is something you want to consider. So we're going to save our test plan here. So now that we've done that MDE calculation, we know that it is possible that we could test on the homepage. We could maybe see an 18% lift if we came up with a really good change. Now I will say the lifts that I usually see are more like 3 to 5%, but for the sake of this example, we're going to ride with it. So going back to our website here, what we're going to do is look at the website and see, okay, so now that we know a test is possible, we need to come up with an idea for how we could increase the conversion rate on the shop now or buy now clicks. Now you could think, oh, maybe let's just make all these buttons red and then people will click them, or put like exclamation points at the end of all of them. But what you really want to do is identify a specific problem or opportunity on the website and then come up with lots of ideas that treat this problem or opportunity. And the way you do that is by conducting research. You could conduct research in analytics. You could conduct it in a heat map tool like Hotjar. You could look at the different user tests. You could run user tests on your website, see if there's issues that new customers are having specifically. You could run a survey. But for this specific example, let's say that we ran a survey and asked new visitors to the website why they didn't make a purchase when they're on the website. So as they're exiting the website, we launch a survey and it says, hey, why did you not add any products to your cart? Or why did you not make a purchase on the website? Let's say we run that survey and we find out that a lot of the people that are not making a purchase don't trust our website. We have a really nice product and maybe we just undercut a competitor by about 20%, and they're not sure if this is real or not. So they're like, I don't know if I trust Cookware Haven. This website looks kind of sketchy. So we're like, okay, that's really helpful because we are legit. We've got great chef's knives and different frying pans and ovens. You should trust us. So let's work on that. So now I'd be coming up with lots of ideas. How do I make people trust me or trust my site more? It could be adding thing like reviews to the website. It could be adding testimonials. There are lots of different ways that you can try and build trust. You could add like super reputable companies that you partner with, that sort of thing. So we'd be coming up with lots of ideas here. We have our initial problem or opportunity, coming up with lots of ideas, then we prioritize them. How hard are they to run? What's the potential opportunity from the test? That sort of thing. So you want to come up with some sort of prioritization framework. We'll say that we did, and let's say that what came to the top was adding social proof with a review with like stars as reviews to the website. We think this will build trust. This is going to be great change to make. So this is what we've decided to add here. So now what we're going to do, after of course we have a developer implement this on the website and add this as a variant, we are going to set up our test with a 50-50 split on the homepage, and then we're going to go live. So after we go live, this is when we'll start taking a look at how the test is doing. And we want to take a look again at that binomial metric, that conversion rate for control and variant. And hopefully we've set up from the get-go what we are looking for to see. Like, what are we going to do based off of the information that we collect? The thing that you don't want to do is get to the end of an A/B test and then start making all kinds of different decisions that weren't pre-planned. You want to pre-plan, like, if we see this conversion rate, we're going to do X. If we see this conversion rate go down, we're going to do Y. It should be all relatively pre-planned. So let's jump back into our test. We've got it set up in Analytics Toolkit. We're looking for that 18% conversion rate, and we're going to run this for a maximum of 10 weeks. Now let's go ahead and open up the data here, test data. Now we're going to configure our data. We're just going to be doing manual entry for this test, which is what I pretty much always do. It's not very difficult to just enter in 4 numbers. All right, so let's say it's week 1 and we're checking into our test. We've been monitoring the experience, making sure everything looks pretty good, the website's not broken, and we're going to check in. So it's week 1, we've seen 1,225 visitors in each variant, a perfect split. Actually, it should be, we've seen 1,225 visitors in each variant, a nice even split. And we've seen, 30 conversions in control and 50 conversions in variant. Now we're going to add the data here, go to our data analysis. And we can see so far we are seeing at a 4.08 conversion rate, conversion rate.
The green efficacy boundary will tell you if your variant has won in terms of the parameters of your test setup. And the futility boundary, the red, will tell you if there's no way that you're going to be able to confirm the MDE that you set from the beginning. And as you can see here, we're around the second standard deviation, which is pretty good.
You can see the boundaries though. We could be seeing a minus 47% lift or 180% lift. Right now we don't have enough power to really know. Like, it's a huge scope of what could be going on right now. So we're going to keep running this test, and we get to week 2. Okay, time to check in again. Let's do it. Add some data here. 62 and 99. 62 and 99. And then we have 2450 in both variants. 2450 unique visitors. And we're going to add our data here. Go to data analysis. Oh, we're getting pretty close here. We've observed an estimated lift of 60%, which is pretty darn good. But you can see we've not confirmed yet. So a statistical or a sequential test, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to end the test early if you observe a result that's extreme enough, basically, where it's like, I can confirm that you're going to reach an 18% if you ran this to the distance. We're not going to be able to end the test early if we hit an 18% at this point. Like, we need to see something pretty high. But remember the bounds we were talking about now it's a minus 8% or 127% lift. So it's trying to see, like, based off what I've seen and all the fancy math, that this is probably what the estimation looks like. So now we're going to continue running for another week. We've seen 92 and 155 conversions. Oop. And then we're seeing 3675 users. We're going to add this test data, go to data analysis, and we crossed the decision boundary here. We've crossed the efficacy boundary, which confirms that we are definitely going to see an 18% lift. Analytics Toolkit has lots of cool information down here where you can read this. It says that this maximum sample size results in 80% probability to detect a true relative difference of 18%. Then we're going to look at the actual outcome here. At analysis 3 with about 3675 users per variant, the efficacy boundary is at 3.058, while the observed statistic is 4.078%, and the confidence level is 99.96% with a p-value of 0.00409, which means that it is extremely unlikely that this result is due to random chance. And now you can see our boundaries are to plus 29% to 116% lift, with the most likely estimated lift being 85%, but we actually observed in our data set is a 68% lift. What I would do at this point is you figured out that, wow, adding reviews really solved a big problem. So you need to log this learning somewhere in, like, maybe an Excel sheet or using Airtable. You want to start to say, like, hey, we ran the homepage test. We ran it because of this reason, and we saw this result. And now you can start to try and stack the wins here. So we know that trust is a big issue. Maybe we try now, can we add trust to our paid landing page? Where else could we add it? Could we add it to our emails? We can really carry these insights all over. But overall, I just hope this video was helpful in helping you understand how to plan a sequential A/B test and monitor the statistics. If you have any questions about this, or if you'd like me to follow up with any more information, drop that in the comments. If you like this video, if it was helpful, please like the video, and please subscribe as well if you haven't. I really appreciate it. Goodbye.